Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. As always, on this video, I'm going to talk about the cosmic vibes, what is happening every day this week from March 7th to the 13th. So just before we begin, just to give you a heads up, I do have a brand new website coming out. It should be out later this month sometime, possibly mid-month. It just depends because we're just working really, really hard on it. It's going to be called soulworkwithjenij.com. So my current website that's up, Soul Work with Jeni. So if you happen to go on to that one, still use it. So you'll know that the new website is up because it will redirect you to my new one. So just to let you guys know, there's lots of changes coming in. I'm going to be doing a lot more podcasts. There's going to be classes. There's a lot happening and going on. So this is what happens with this eclipse energy. You know, I've been talking about this for quite some time, how to utilize and work with the energy of the eclipse. Because when you work with it, things happen. It does push you more in alignment with your destiny, your purpose. It removes situations, people, jobs, all of that just are not in alignment with you anymore. So look back onto November 2025. What were you doing then? You know, did you start something? Did you make like a decision with something that, you know what, I've made a decision now. I started this project now, whatever it was, you're going to see those results coming this week, by the way. So there is a lot going on. So you might hear my puppy in the background with his little squeaky toy. I'm not able to pick him up because I've completely threw my back out. I can barely move. So it's not fun right now, even having to bend over and pick him up to even put him outside. But I do. I'm sure my neighbors hear me like making all of these sounds. So if I make like a sound like, oh, when we're doing the video, it's just my back. So just to give you a heads up. So if you hear the little squeaky toy, you know, it was so cool because earlier it was like that squeaky toy. It was almost like he was sending Morse code signals out to the animal kingdom. Help my mom and her back. You just got to go with it. What can you do about it? You know what I mean? So that's life. It happens. So this is why it's like during the retrograde to slow down. Like I've been working really hard on my website. Like it's a huge project, you know, like doing software updates on the current one. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, no, I'm going to create a whole new one. You know, things were aligning up, synchronicity and everything. And I'm like, no, this is it. So working on that, plus my clients and everything else, and my little baby Valentino puppy, I keep busy. So, anyways, let's talk about what's coming up. Like we have Friday the 13th. How many of you guys are superstitious with Friday the 13th? You know, it goes way, way, way back to the Knights Templar. And it's actually a really lucky day. However, some people will look at it as being superstitious, of course, you know. How many of you are superstitious on Friday the 13th? Oh my God, there is a black cat. Oh my God. You know, it's like, wow, you really could have an amazing day on the 13th, like Friday the 13th. You really, really could. You know, people consider like black cats or black dogs like a bad omen. No, of course not. No, oh my God, no. But, you know, everybody's culture and beliefs are different and you cannot judge at all. So it's really important right now to, as I mentioned, slow down with the retrograde. You've noticed delays. You've noticed people from the past coming back, communication issues, misunderstandings, lost messages like, oh my God, I sent my website guys like all of this information and that. Jeni, we didn't get it. There's no attachments. Like, and I'm like, I looked at it when I sent it and like, oh my God. So this is why you have to like reset everything when it's like, you know, did you hear the squeaky noise? That's Morse code to the animal kingdom. I can't help that, you guys. Anybody who has a puppy or a dog, they know what the squeaky toys are. Even cats. My friend had a cat that was like a dog. Like it was just so, say, Scamper, I think they named him. So, anyways, just say it. We're just flowing with the video right now. So, March the 7th and the 8th, you're going to find that you're going to get pulled towards a new identity of yourself. You very well could have been like, I got to change this. I got to change that about myself, like no matter in what direction, but it's more personal within, like as when my new website comes out, you'll see things. I'm a little bit more open when I talk about Jeni Ji. So you're going to see certain things, truth coming out. You're going to be like, no, this is my worth. I'm not settling for this. I'm not settling that. My truth is coming out a little bit more about certain situations and so on. Continue that path because the eclipse wants you to move into the new. This is how powerful it is. Like this eclipse was pre-written before you were born. So there's a lot happening right now, that is life changing. So we have the Venus connected with Saturn and Aries. I just say it like that. So you can't like push things, you know what I mean? Sometimes Aries, they want things now, very bold, all of these things, but that's the worst thing you can do. Step back because you're going to be taking more responsibility for yourself. Yourself. You're going to be like, no, I got to do this. I got to make these changes. This is the time to be really honest with your relationships. Watch my last video because I talk about relationships connected with that blood full moon lunar eclipse. It was all wrapped around relationship endings, our connections with other people, what's working, but you're going to see that even now again carried forth. You're going to be making decisions even more that, wow, this isn't working. This isn't who I'm becoming. So those vivid dreams that you very well will be shown in the spirit world and from the spirit world, pay attention to that when you wake up from your sleep because there's a lot of messages in that. So you might be like, oh, last minute decisions for this, last minute decisions for that. I'm done. Like sudden this and important news coming in. Like how many of you have been waiting for important news with something like some results of something or wow, the job told me that they were going to make that decision about who we're going to hire. Is it you? If it's not you, don't worry. This is a time where we take risks. Like my website, for instance, like I've jumped in with that. It's sometimes we have to take certain risks with certain things. How am I going to do this? How am I going to make that happen? Just start it. Just start the process. It's like the vision board. Don't worry about how. How is that going to happen? Don't look at that. Just start the process, surrender, continue on with your path, and you'll see how things are coming together in synchronicity. If you are not paying attention and why are things like not working, pay attention to that. Maybe those are the things you need to let go of now that needs to complete itself. Its cycle and so on. Very important, especially with relationships. This isn't working. Why are you treating me like this? Like it's too complicated. It's just listen to that. These signs are a gift for you to really say, is that the direction I want to move towards? Is that what I really want? Very important right now. Very important. You have to go by what feels right for you. Listen to that, because if not, the karmic relationship continues on and it's not going to get any better. So it's not easy. Believe me, I know. So as we're moving into the 9th and 10th of March, you're going to be more focused on family, home security. I'm feeling more grounded now with things, or things are finally coming together. Wow, we ever learned a lot. Family roots, family connections. Let's heal from this. Let's work through this. Because Jupiter stations direct with Cancer. Cancer's, emotional sensitivity, family, home, all of that. Where do we want to have our home foundation? Where do we want to make changes in our home environment with, whatever it is, with this or that? You might be like, we got to move. Like, this isn't working for us, our home base or our family. We got to make changes. So you're going to see that. Some people, there's different families living with them, or family could have moved in with family and such like that. Or you could have friends had moved in with you that could be like, oh, this isn't working out anymore. Or things are actually now feeling more stable, more balanced, things are resolving itself. So you're going to find that around then. So even look back to November 2025. You very well could see that during this family time right now. You're going to see that self-worth. I just need a break right now from everything. So you're going to see that, like, your intuition is going to be so much stronger, during this eclipse time. Really listen to that and pay attention to that. I started writing something and I'm like, no, no, no. And I'm like, okay, okay, okay. It was so strong. Put that aside. I'll get back to that later. And I focused on something else and it was like, it was flowing, flowing, flowing. It came together beautifully. And I'm like, yes. So listen to that, you guys. Like, your intuition is your inner guru, like your inner GPS, your soul speaking to you to make changes or to not do this or to take steps this direction. So very important, because when we work with the energies, even though it's like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. I had to rebook an appointment myself. And I'm like, oh my God, that's tomorrow. And oh my God, I don't want to go. Oh my God, but I have to go. Health is very important with Mercury retrograde as well. Am I nervous of what's going to happen and the results and everything? Yes. However, surrender it, have faith, know that there's a reason for that's happening, like all of that. All of that. It's trusting the process. But I get it. I was too emotional to go to my last health appointment, like a couple of weeks ago or whenever it was, 23rd of February. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't, I'm too emotional to go. That was my skin cancer appointment, and so it's rescheduled and I'm like, oh my God, right? Like, I got to go back and know. But it's like, let the fear go. So we can get triggered. You will be getting triggered. That's part of that inner wound. Ancestral healing is continuing on. It comes to the surface more to help you deal with things emotionally, resolving things. Mercury retrograde, let's resolve things head on, and so on. So I'm just worried about, oh my God, like, with my back, I can barely move. This will be really interesting. Like, oh my God. Like, I mean, there'll be nurses in there, and, of course, and when the surgeon comes in, but I'm like, oh my God, please don't. It's going to take me a while to get undressed, of course, right? Like, I can barely move, but there's help. There'll be help. So the 11th and 12th of March now, you're going to feel more of service to the universe. You could get pulled in. I want a job that, like, is working more with humanity, more in a deeper level. You're going to be pulled towards, where's my skill sets, my talents, my abilities, what am I good at, what's my experience? And you very well could see more of your soul's destiny and in your calling and such like that. Maybe like you're going to get compliments and thank you so much. You truly helped me with this and that. You know what I mean? You just really made a difference in my life. Or maybe you're going to sign up. No, I'm making these huge career changes. I'm not going to do this anymore. I really, maybe I want to work for the UN, or, like, you know what I'm saying? Really pay attention to that, because you will feel a lot more grounded. You're going to feel a lot more confidence of, yeah, this is truly my direction. I'm going to work on and move towards, no, I'm going to not do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm doing this now. So, and even November, as I mentioned, what you were working on then, you very well could see the results even more so on the 11th and 12th of March. Pay attention to that. What were you starting? What were you handling back then? What was going on? You're going to see that it's really coming together even more so now. Maybe it's finally completed itself and it's like, yeah, now it's ready. So reflect back on that. And I mean that could be anything, like anything, right? We all work on stuff and have stuff that we have to deal with, of course, you know. So really review what started on the 1st of February, that week when the eclipse boom came in. You would have felt the effects in January, feeling change coming. I don't know what it is. You're going to see 555 numbers. Like 555 is a sign of life changes coming in. Divine timing. I was seeing that last night, 555. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to go back to my surgeon. Oh, we can go into fear. However, when you see that, immediately change your mindset from, no, we're going to deal with this. Everything's going to work out beautifully. Everything's going to flow. Everything's going to go. Thank you, universe, for bringing in positive changes to my life. I'm very open for abundance, prosperity, happiness, joy, all of those things. Immediately start saying it's the key. It's the key that holds you guys together, that makes things come together more. So you're going to feel that strongly. So maybe some of you are making certain plans on, St. Patty's Day is coming up on the 17th of March. What are we planning? Some people are really big, like in Ireland, it's really, really big St. Patty's Day and such. And they have like a week-long celebrations and everything. I'm like, really? Like when I was living over there, I'm like, really? Like, I didn't know that. So everybody has their own cultures and religions and how they do things, but you got to go by what feels right for you. This is the time when we're still healing from a lot of things as well. So, some of you could get drawn more in, like natural medicines, more natural, like Eastern medicines and such. Like, it very well could be different healing modalities, acupunctures, things like that. Maybe you want to get more in touch with nature to ground yourself and ground your soul. Listen to that calling. That's that destiny and purpose. You could be like, you know what, I know I need to move towards that, as I just talked about. I'm not gonna, I don't want my career anymore, my job I was doing. No, that's just, I don't want it anymore. Maybe I'm gonna go into medicine healing. Maybe I'm going, like, you know what I'm saying. Listen to that. So the 13th, the goddess, divine goddess, you very well could be making appearance changes that day. Maybe it's going to be like, you know what, let's book in a spa day, Friday the 13th. Let's get our hair done, our nails done. Maybe I'm going to get a massage, that self-care, self-love. Maybe I'm just going to be like, no, I want a new appearance. I want like new clothing. I'm going to change my hair, and you very well could be like, yeah, I'm just going to get more drawn into, maybe I'm getting pulled to take like more of a class, like drumming, or maybe I'm going to be working out more, but just doing something more gentle workouts, stretching the body gently, stretching the body. Oh my God. I'm just thinking about that, about my back. And I'm like, even for me to click on the button to stop the recording, and I'm like, oh my God. I don't want to move around here a little bit, but you know what I mean? Like really treat yourself that day. Really, you're going to find you could be expressing yourself more. Your heart will be open, more compassionate and stuff. But you very well be like, you know what? I got to set some boundary settings today. It's going to be about me. I'm going to the spa. I'm going to get my nails and hair done. You know what I mean? And for guys too, like swimming is a really good thing as well, because water represents our emotions. Maybe some of you are going to be like, yeah, I'm not looking at doing my 20-mile run today, let's say. I'm going to go swimming and ride with the waves, ride with the ocean waves and the energy of the water, because water represents emotions, where you're at. So even look at the waterfall in the background. It's so incredibly beautiful. But if you're looking at the waterfall and you're like, oh my God, that looks kind of scary, shows you where your emotions are. If you're looking at, like a lake, an ocean, and you're like, oh, there's something scary about that, or look how beautiful it is, look how things are flowing, it tells you where you're at. That's why a lot of empaths are very sensitive, of course, and they go by the water because they feel more calm, healing, safe, letting go, releasing. Meditate, ground, take that time for you. Self-care and self-love is a key, especially when we're like, you know what, I need downtime. So, so I'm just going to pull a couple of cards. I didn't bring my cards out, all of my cards, because I can't bend over to pick them up at all. It's not a reality shape, way, or form. So I actually had a couple of cards here. I'm just going to use these ones. So let's just ask the angels and our guides and the universe, what's the message from the 7th to the 13th? What's the message for us collectively? Awakening your true self. Like, oh my gosh, what was I just saying? Awakening our true self is where I'm getting pulled towards this, changing my career, changing this. That's not okay with me. I'm not into that. I don't resonate with that. I want to be more with my soul tribe, people who I truly connect with. That's not who I am. I always say be authentic. Like, why would you not be authentic? I don't get it. I really don't. If you're going to be fake, you'll attract fakeness to you. It's going to crash and burn. It won't work. Be yourself. Be yourself, because when you let go of the wrong people, the right people show up for you. So, that's the energy, as I mentioned, 11th and 12th. You're going to want to be more of service. You're going to see more of your abilities, your gifts, your skill sets, your experiences, your wisdom, all of that. That's the direction I want to move into. Yes, you're here for a reason, to walk in your own soul's footprints. We all have our own soul's blueprints. Very important. So we're just going to pull one other deck and see what's going on. I also have a group on Facebook, Higher Vibes with Jeni Ji Cousins. It's a private group. If anybody wants to share in there as well, it's private. You can join me on Facebook under that. I post a lot of different things that I don't put on social media. You can catch that on my, like Pinterest account, Jeni Cousins, but I'm all over. So the 7th to the 13th of March, what's the collective message? I don't use cards either, by the way, when I'm reading people. I'm a clairvoyant psychic medium. But of course, this is a video collective. The 7th to the 13th, there he is on his bed. So cute. As Valentino has his own Instagram account, Valentino 2026 888 on Instagram, by the way. You can follow him there too. 7th to the 13th. What's the message from the universe? 7th to the 13th. 7th to the 13th. What's the message? Ooh. Happy surprise is coming. Happy surprise. Who does not want a happy surprise? I sure do. I want to go to my surgeon and say, everything's fine. No biopsies are needed. You can leave. Maybe that's a happy surprise. Maybe you're going to get that news that you've been wanting to hear. And you're like, oh my God, I got the job. Or, oh my God, thank you for doing that. Or whatever it is. Happy surprises can be anything, even small things. Anything. Be grateful. Be grateful for the smallest things. Like any little thing, I'm like, wow, thank you so much. Like, thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Gosh, I'm feeling more relieved now. Oh my goodness sakes. Happy surprise could be like, wow, my back is healed tonight. I can now finally move around. You should see seriously when I have to bend over to pick my puppy up. Like, oh my God, it can take me 20 minutes just to pick him up. It's pathetic. Oh my God. And I'm talking to him. I'm sorry. Because he's still too tiny to jump kind of over the little hump to get from my living room to get outside to the yard. He's still too tiny and small to jump. And I'm like, hang in there. I'm doing it. And he's like, oh my God. Like, oh my gosh. You can see him like, but anyways, don't get me going on that. So yeah, happy surprises are there. They're coming, they're incoming. You have to trust the process. You really do. Maybe you can get that sudden call from your person or somebody you've been waiting to hear from. Like anything can happen. Positive, happy surprises. I am open to positive messages, beautiful, positive surprises. Stay focused in the energy and alignment with positive energy. It will work with you. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, make some comments, let me know what's going on. Click the like button on my channel and stay tuned for my new website. But book through my old one, in the meantime. You'll notice little changes on that because we did have to do a lot of software updates on that one to keep it going. And that's what I'm like, no, my business license was coming up for renewal. And I'm like, oh, what perfect timing. It's the time now. Let's change the name officially, blah, 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 all of that. So synchronicity, things come together. So namaste, everyone. Until next time.